Hello, this is Lumi, and if you saw the video that I posted, or if you saw my first video, you will know I have another series besides Enchanted and my Pokemon Fakemon universe. The series is called Lights On. I think it has gone through 3 drafts in total, and those drafts I will be talking about in this video. This is a disclaimer. There are mentions of depression in this video, and I'm going to give you a little bit of time now to scroll off this video and watch something else, and I'll see you next time. Okay, I think that was enough time, and if you still haven't scrolled off and you think you want to, do it now. Okay, and now we will get into the first draft. The very first draft of Lights On was not even called Lights On. It was called The Deck. This draft is probably the one I did not stick with the most, and there is barely any references to it. The only keepers are that Grace and Ace are the main cast characters, and also the fact that Grace has an older sister that takes care of her, and a little sister. But besides those things, a lot of it changed. In the original draft, there was also a power system based on playing cards. Different ranks had different cards associated with them. That was one of the first things I threw out in the second draft. So in the first draft, Ace has a very different personality. She is way more energetic and way more active. But in the second draft, she is less energetic, and it's more of a downward spiral. In the first draft, there are things I kept the same, like Ace having depression and that affecting her. But it was masked way better in the first draft, and she still masks it in the second draft, but not as well. In the third is where I took some of that masking and put it back in. So that leads us on to the second draft of Lights On. This is when it did become Lights On. This draft has no magical references at all, and there is a lot of plot elements that I kept the same to the last draft. So in this draft, Ace, Grace are still in the main cast, but there are 2 new members of the main cast that stick with it into the last draft. Those members are Ollie and Melody. The whole group meets because they are in theater together, and Ollie is a very quiet boy by nature, and he is a very sweet and caring soul who notices certain things about others and why they are acting off. He was probably one of the first to notice something was wrong with Ace. And Melody, on the other hand, his best friend, she is very energetic and knows exactly when to run away from her problems and when to not. I love their character dynamic. We have our shy, quiet character next to our loud and crazy, energetic character. So, in this draft, a lot of the same plot points happen in the first that I did not go over for trigger reasons. But an oversight is Ace still has depression as this draft, and that is the same with all of the drafts. And in Lights On in this draft, the group is mainly trying to figure out what is wrong with Ace and why she is acting this way, and trying to figure out what's going on before, sadly, things take a very, very, very bad turn for the worst. But still, when it comes to Ace's home life, she doesn't really have many people on her side, and at the end of this draft, at least when I was making it, she ended up living with Grace and her family, or her and her older sister. Characters don't really have many dynamics in this story, which is something I love to give my characters, and the fact that they don't have that many in these 2 drafts kind of made me a bit upset. So that leads us into our very, very, very last draft and my final rendition. At least I hope it is. This is the final rendition of Lights On. It is my favorite and hopefully the one I will be sticking with. But who knows what happens in the future. Pretty much most of the stuff stayed the same, except the group was not in a theater club anymore. They were in a magic academy, and that's how they met. And they are all doing a group project together throughout the year, memo recording on little, at least I haven't fully figured out what they called, but it's kind of like the little recorder things from Monster High. Third generation, these little crystal balls that they can record stuff on. It's basically, they have a journaling project. That is not their group project. Their group project probably has something to do with that class, though. Let's go over new characters. The new characters added into the main cast are Gracie, or Frankie, which is what her name is now. It was originally just Gracie, but I changed it to Frankie in this last draft because it made more sense. She was already going to be called that throughout the entire story, so might as well just make it her name. And there is a completely new character named Ollie. He is the older brother to Ace, and now there is also a new antagonist named Em, who is the twin sister of Ollie and the older sister of Ace. So in this draft, there is still the same problems with Ace, but it is made worse when her brother leaves and he's sending money to his parents, thinking they are taking care of Ace and helping her, but instead they are making her think that her mental health is something to push under the rug and something to hide. So this pushes Ace into an even deeper hole that she has already pushed into. It makes her even deeper dug into it. Luckily, she has her friends that will hopefully be able to get her out of this hole she has dug herself into. But that's all I'm going to give away in this video. I'll go more into depth about it in a different video and go more into character relationships. Thank you for watching, and have an amazing evening, day, or night whenever you might be watching this video. Bye!